When I run for president in 2024, we're going to definitely know what y'all laughing at.
I think they're laughing at you, Kanye.
What's the point of thinking?
Probably so you don't say things like this.
There's a lot of things that I love about Hitler. A lot of things.
Kanye West is so delusional that he's about to waste more than 700 days of his life campaigning to become president of the United States, when in reality, all Kanye is going to accomplish over the next 2 years is further destroying the legendary reputation that he spent the last 20 years building.
I am a god. Everybody says, who does he think he is? I just told you who I thought I was, a god.
I wasn't going to make this video. Originally, I just excused his previous comments, like when he said he was going to go DEFCON 3 on Jewish people, as a phase, or marketing, or just another classic Kanye manic episode.
Well, how much does the earth cost?
You see, Kanye's been absolutely addicted to attention since the day that he was put into the spotlight, and he's willing to say whatever it takes to get people talking about him. Whether that's saying George Bush hates black people,
George Bush doesn't care about black people,
the Taylor Swift thing.
Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. One of the best videos of all time.
Saying slavery was a choice.
About slavery for 400 years. For 400 years, that sounds like a choice. Like, you was there for 400 years?
Or when he spent years pretending like he was in the Illuminati. He's always been one to go against the grain and just be as controversial as humanly possible in an attempt to get more and more famous. And he's damn good at it. Even when he blatantly artificially tried to create a viral moment by randomly walking out of his Tim Pool interview, I still turned a blind eye because it was pretty obvious that that was just a really awkward attempt at marketing. But Kanye's recent interview with Alex Jones was what really put me over the edge. The one where he says this?
Look, I love Jewish people, but I also love Nazis.
Oh, man. Well, I have to disagree with that.
This whole interview is so bad and so unhinged that nobody's even talking about the fact that he's wearing a BDSM gimp mask.
When we go, I don't like the word if, when we go into the White House, it's a us now. It's not about specifically an icon or DeSantis.
But it's issues.
Yeah, it's about the issues in America.
So given the fact that Kanye is insanely popular and he appeals to prejudiced people and far-right extremists.
And it sucks and it is what it is, but that's why we need dictatorship. That's unironically why we need to get rid of all that. We need to take control of the media or take control of the government and force the people to believe what we believe, or force them to play by our rules and reshape the society.
Best possible case scenario, if everything goes right for him, he'll steal 1 to 2% of the votes away from whoever wins the Republican primaries, whether that's Trump or DeSantis. And if the election is even somewhat close, which given the current political climate, the 2024 presidential election absolutely will be, the conservative side is essentially guaranteed to lose. So he's not only wasting his time because he has absolutely no chance of actually becoming president of the United States, but even if everything goes in his favor and his campaign is amazing, he'll essentially be actively working against the Republican Party.
This shit lit, right? I'm lit, right? I'm lit. I'm lit.
Kanye is not Trump. Regardless of whether you love or hate Donald Trump, I think we should all be able to admit that Trump's 2016 election campaign was possibly the greatest example of marketing that the world has ever seen.
It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail.
The guy literally became president of the United States by intentionally ensuring that everyone spoke about him no matter where we went.
You call women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
Whether you loved him or hated him, he was incredibly polarizing, and that's all people were talking about at the time. However, that campaign in 2016 was done strategically and was only possible because Trump had a message that at least some people were willing to get behind. When normal people in the real world talk about Kanye and his 2024 presidential campaign, it's kind of just like, oh yeah, Kanye, that guy's off the rocker. And it usually ends right there.
We are still in the Holocaust. A Jewish friend of mine said, go visit the Holocaust Museum. And my response was, let's visit our Holocaust Museum, Planned Parenthood.
But voting aside, watching an insane and incoherent man like Kanye West even dare to repeat these NPC Republican talking points that he's constantly repeating makes the entire party look worse given the amount of people that are actually listening.
There's some cleaning, there's some plumbing that we have to do.
And when he brings a Holocaust-denying, far-right extremist like Nick Fuentes past the Secret Service and to a meeting with former President Donald Trump, and then brags about it on social media the next day, it makes the entire party look worse. If I were the left, I would just never stop talking about Adolf Hitler over here.
Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table. Especially Hitler.
Bruh. I mean, AOC and Lasan Abi must love this guy right now. Dunking on Kanye in 2022 for someone with more than 2 brain cells is easier than it is for an NBA player to play one-on-one against an 8-year-old kid.
Oh my God!
And watching Kanye potentially cost the GOP the 2024 election 2 years in advance is just absurd. Keep in mind, what I'm saying only applies if everything works out for Kanye. And I'm only saying that because I know there's people out there that are just anti-Semitic that are going to be voting for Kanye.
I like Hitler.
I don't like Hitler. And I know you're trying to be shocking with that.
I'm not trying to be shocking. I like Hitler. I do not. The Holocaust is not what happened. Let's look at the facts of that. And Hitler has a lot of redeeming quality.
Because they believe Kanye's preaching some sort of incredible truth serum that nobody else can say, when in reality, the guy can barely put even 2 sentences together that even make sense.
No one older than me has a better idea than me because I'm the only 36-year-old me.
Stop it. Get some help.
And that's not even taking into account the absolute imbeciles who are going to vote for him in 2024 because, oh, he made graduation though. Yeah, he used to make damn good music. Now he talks into a microphone and sounds dumber and dumber each time he does it.
They dropped that nigga.
If his political delusions weren't bad enough, he has created this far-right super team of absolute morons consisting of Sneeko, a man who once said this on video.
You blew up because you were unique and original and funny and interesting, and you were doing something that other people weren't doing, and now you're making content that it's just feeding the narrative.
But then did this as a form of unique content.
What you really need, Chad, is some yeah, shut up with your feminism. Yeah, come here.
Milo Yiannopoulos, a pedophile-defending insane man who no one has even heard from in years, who once said his entire goal was to destroy the entire Republican Party. And lastly, Nick Fuentes, who I believe is one of the only people in America that truly deserves to be deplatformed.
I gotta ask, Nick, how do you feel when you see a black guy just getting with the snow bunnies? Like, is that something that like rustles your jimmies?
She's gonna get BBC'd, Nick. Your white girl's gonna get BBC'd.
The problem is all these white girls always end up getting their ass kicked,
bruh,
and left behind. That's what typically happens.
What are you talking about? Wait, get an ass kicked by who?
What?
Are you ass kicked by who?
By your black boyfriend.
Well, I'm out, man. That nigga's tripping.
Not because he's a criminal or anything, but because he's a racist white nationalist who once compared himself to Hitler on video.
I'm just like Hitler.
Which at least is good for him. I mean, he found the right group of guys to surround himself with.
Doing either.
I like Hitler.
Oh, and I do have to mention the fact that he is also a 24-year-old virgin, and as we all know, those mid-20s white nationalist virgins could, you know, I'm not going to say it because this is a PG YouTube channel, but the guy should be on a pretty short leash. That's all I'm saying.
Because honestly, dating women is gay.
If Kanye were to stop this political delusion that he has and just make good music, none of this would be a problem. If he was anti-Semitic on a track, I'm sure it would be completely different in terms of public backlash. Plenty of rappers have been anti-Semitic in one way or another in their music, and nobody's talking about that, but Kanye gets in front of a microphone that's in front of a camera, says blatantly anti-Semitic things, all while consistently being objectively bad at interviews, anti-Semitism aside. The guy cannot even properly articulate the NPC talking points that he has deluded himself into believing. Worst of all, somehow Kanye West managed to go on Alex Jones's show and made the guy look like a totally rational moderate.
I mean, I disagree with both statements, but I get the pros.
I don't like the word evil next to Nazis. I think we need to look at.
Oh my goodness.
While simultaneously making one of the most entertaining humans ever born.
It's like, dude, just because you've got a beard and a pink shirt doesn't mean it's okay to have nuclear war, dumbass.
In Alex Jones, just uncomfortable, and it is hilarious. But no rational person is seeing this absolute circus from Kanye, and they're like, yes, this is the man we need as the leader of the free world. The fact of the matter is, a vote for Kanye is a wasted vote. Not only is it a wasted vote, but I genuinely believe if anyone is sober and decides to vote for Kanye after he said he loves Hitler.
There's a lot of things that I love about Hitler.
They need to be checked into a mental asylum. Keep in mind, I have an entire other video I was going to make to absolutely destroy Kanye, but I'm holding back a lot of punches here and trying my best to keep this video about just the election. So let me know if you guys want a part 2.
Bye, have a great time.